Hey everybody, welcome to my movie haul for July of 2024. This is goatfilmreviews.com on YouTube, and I'm your host, Kyle Goethe. This movie haul, as all others, are usually compiled once I've got at least 5 new acquisitions, which this month I have a good solid stack. It was the Criterion sale at Barnes & Noble. In fact, I actually have a couple things on the way here that I'm hoping will arrive by the time I finish doing this video. And if not, then we'll cover those next month. But I've got some stuff that's coming in at the end of the month, but unfortunately, it's not here yet. So we're gonna jump into some Criterion stuff. This is pretty much all Criterion and some Arrow. Arrow Video did a they did a half-off sale on some of their stuff. Camp Arrow, they called it. It wasn't on Barnes & Noble, but I happened to order a couple of things anyway. So we're gonna cover Arrow Video and Criterion. And see if the rest of it shows up in time. So let's go ahead and get started here. First acquisition for the list is going to be Bo Widerberg's New Swedish Cinema. Another box set from Criterion. Again, these half-off sales, really inexpensive when you get down to it for this. And this has 4 feature films. Elvira Madigan, The Baby Carriage, Raven's End, and Adeline 31. Yeah, I don't know anything about these films, to be honest. I've never heard of Bo Widerberg. I'm probably saying his name wrong, even. But Criterion box set. This isn't one of their in-depth box sets. It's just kind of a wraparound case. Once open, it kind of has that like feeling of like a Walmart box set. So it's not like an aggressively well put together box, but maybe the films inside are better than the presentation that they've been given. We also got the 4K release of The Virgin Suicides. This is a movie I saw maybe a year or two ago. The wife wanted to watch for the first time. They just released this on 4K, so I wanted to nab it. I've been trying to pick up a few more 4Ks from Criterion, and this was such a fascinating little film. I think it's probably my favorite from Sofia Coppola. Yeah, very peculiar movie. It has this whimsical fantasy element to it, even though it's not that at all. But just because of the peculiarity of the story, it plays off in this really dramedy-like fashion. Very, very strange and disturbing, very ethereal. Another 4K collection from Criterion. This is The Heroic Trio and The Executioners. So I think The Executioner is a sequel, I believe, to The Heroic Trio, but I was looking on the back and basically trying to sell this to my wife, essentially, by saying a team of blade-throwing, shotgun-toting, kung fu-fighting heroines are joining forces to battle evildoers in a dystopian noirish city. Done. That's the movie for me. That just added it to my shopping cart, basically. So, again, I don't know much about that one, but if you've seen the film, let me know down below. Is that a correct reading of that film? I'd like to know more about that. Let's see here. Let's finish off the Criterions. Up next, we have The Red Balloon and Other Stories, 5 films by Albert Lamorisse. So 5 films. I don't think all of them are features. It's The Red Balloon, The Brim, The Little Donkey, White Mane, Stowaway in the Sky, and Circus Angel. I've always been fascinated by The Red Balloon. I've never had a chance to see it before, so I nabbed this collection of films. Again, a nice, thin box for my wall that I'm so excited to check out. I like these kinds of like mid-50s to mid-60s fantasies, especially from the foreign market, because I think a lot of them were diving into fantasy in some really interesting ways that I don't think we've really seen done that well in America during that time, at least not as frequently. All right, up next we have Todd Browning's Sideshow Shockers. This has Freaks as the big one, which I had a DVD my friend had given me of Freaks, but then I knew I was going to buy this anyway, so I was like, well, if I'm going to watch Freaks for the first time, I want it to be in a great presentation. This also has The Unknown and The Mystic, 2 other Todd Browning films that are Sideshow related, I think. I had not heard of the other 2, so I didn't know that there was a collection of this coming, but this is such a cool looking box, and it's nice to see Criterion diving into some of those genre ones again. All right, another box set, Chantal Akerman, Masterpieces, 1968 to 1978. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 films in total, but not, I don't think all of them are features, kind of like the Red Balloon one again. This does feature Jean Dielman, 23, Quai de Commerce, 1080 Brussels. I probably say Jean Dielman. This has the movie that's currently listed as the #1 film on Sight and Sound, the one that shocked people because some of them hadn't heard about it, and other people know it as the movie where the lady cleans her house. The really long movie where the lady cleans her house. I've not seen anything from Chantal Akerman, but that movie alone made me curious enough to get this box set. Because that's already in Criterion. I've been meaning to check that one out because it's just like there has to be something that draws me in with that. Just the all around idea that that movie is at #1. I need to check it out. But there's some short films in here and some other stuff as well. Okay. Eric Romer's Tales of the Four Seasons. So this is a tale of springtime, a tale of winter, a tale of summer, and a tale of autumn. Simple enough. I have Eric Romer's Six Moral Tales, and I've seen a couple of those ones, maybe half of them, and I quite enjoyed those. They're nice little character study pieces that I found to be very engaging. So this one about the idea of having 4 different films in different seasons of the year. Romer's got this ability to kind of pull you in with simplicity in a lot of ways. Like his films are not inherently complex, but the character emotions are strong and they do have that lasting impact on you. So interesting box set from there. I'm probably going to say these ones wrong as well, but 3 revolutionary films by Ousmane Sembène. This has Imite, Sala, and Sido, or Sedo, I think. 3 films, basically from an African filmmaker a Senegalese auteur, who had a career-long project to use cinema's potential as a vehicle for social change. And these movies are from the mid-'70s. And so, again, box set from Criterion. I'm going to check it out. I love these ones where I don't know the director either, because, like Luis Buñuel, I was not fully aware of as a director. Who else was it? Piers Paolo Pasolini has 2 different big box sets in Criterion, as well as films like Salo and stuff, but which are mainstays. Like everyone who has a Criterion film knows about Salo. So yeah, I mean, if you're a collector, like I like being able to dive into those things because I don't know some of those smaller directors. Jacques Demy has really taken me in. Jacques Tati. Those box sets, I would not be a fan of those filmmakers without having those box sets. Yeah, just, it's good to have. Here's a singular one as well, is the 4K edition of Moon Age Daydream. I missed this in theaters. I missed this in the IMAX screen, and I love David Bowie. So I like Brett Morgan's directing a lot. So this, again, it matches everything that I'm going to be interested in. So I picked up Moon Age Daydream. I have kind of a rule: if I drive by a Barnes & Noble during the sale, I'll walk in and pick out a single movie at least. I just blow a lot of money during these months. It's really hard for me. I'm dealing. So I think this is my first buy of the month because it is Martin Scorsese's World Cinema Project 4. I have the other 3, and I'll be honest with you, I have yet to open any of them. What is wrong with me? I will get there. It's just I'm trying. I don't do this crazy stuff outside of like the sale months and Black Friday, but like I picked that one up as well. You're gonna all just this comment section will probably just be full of people telling me that like, why don't you save your money and stop being so wasteful? Sorry, this is just who I am. All right, that was all the Criterion films. Let's jump into the Arrow films that we have. So up first we have Vamp on Blu-ray. This is the one with Grace Jones, Robert Rustler, Geddy Watanabe. I've never seen the film, but I'm a big fan of 80s vampire films. I've been meaning to check this one out. I'm actually really excited for it. And it was a very, very low cost for this one. Arrow did some really good stuff where like most of their Blu-rays were like $12 to $15. Some of their 4Ks were like $17. I mean, that's the lowest I've ever seen from there. So I made some real blind buys here. I also picked up Girls Night Out. This was the Blu-ray edition from Arrow. It's got the cardboard slipcover on it. It's a very nice edition. I always thought this one was funny because it's got like I thought it was like a bee monster that was like attacking, but it's actually like a bear. I think it's a person in a bear suit. I think that's the high school mascot or something that goes after these girls that are having a fun time. There's very little information on the back. I guess a small descriptor, a couple of people that are directing it and stuff, but Yeah, girls' night out. There's not a lot listed there. So okay. Up next, we have the 4K of The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Again, one of the Argentos I haven't seen, but having it on 4K and not owning it previously, I was like, I do enjoy a lot of Argento's other films, so I'm going to pick this one up. This, again, was really inexpensive edition over there, too. They had the Blu-ray, but I splurged for the 4K. One of the movies I actually already had seen, I actually just watched it last night as soon as this box arrived, which was An American Werewolf in London. I had this on DVD, and it was funny because I actually purchased an HD digital version of it when my wife was looking for it because she'd never seen it. But one night she just said to me, I'd like to watch that movie, and I was like, because I love American Werewolf in London so much that I purchased it on HD digital so that we could watch it because I didn't want her to lose the want to see it. And then again, saw it for the sale from Arrow, and since this is probably my favorite werewolf movie of all time, or at least top 2 with the original Wolfman, there was no way I wasn't going to pick this one up when I saw the sale. I might have actually purchased all of this because of that film, because I was going to have to pay for shipping anyway. All right, and we also have the Steelbook edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. This is the Robert De Niro, Kenneth Branagh film. I recently upgraded my copy of Dracula to 4K, and so I figured I'd do the same with the Frankenstein film that came out as well. I've always enjoyed this one. Never as much as the original, or as the 92 Dracula. It's not, never as much as the original 30s one, but I've always enjoyed it. And I just have a thing for Frankenstein-related movies, for those universal monsters recreated across time. It wins me over. There's not much more I can say about it, but I do really enjoy those films. Oh, I also had to mention, I don't know why this one I didn't grab with my original stack, but I picked up Edge of the Axe from Arrow as well. I had recently covered Jose Ramon Larraz's Whirlpool on Saturday Scares with Kyle. And I've been talking about how I wanted to watch Edge of the Axe, and then I saw it at the sale, and it felt like I had to have it, so I nabbed this one as well. Yeah, Edge of the Axe, what can you say? That is everything from my movie haul, at least everything that's arrived currently. I think the rest of it's coming in August. So we will cover that when it arrives for next month, I assume. Thank you so much for joining me for this movie haul for July of 2024. I love physical media, and I love sharing my love of physical media with you. If you purchased anything really cool this month for your physical media collection, leave a comment section down below for that. You can also let me know. A lot of this stuff is blind buys, so if you've seen any of it, let me know. I think the only 2 movies I'd seen in that whole stack were American Werewolf and the Frankenstein film. So lots of first-time watches. If you've seen any of the films that I showed off on here, give me your thoughts on them down below. You may persuade me to raise it to the top of my watch list, because I have made some mistakes. Thank you for joining me as I go a little bit off the rails. I really do appreciate it. My name is Kyle Goethe, and you can find all my film reviews over at goatfilmreviews.com. You can check out Goat Film Reviews on Facebook. You can follow me personally at Almighty Goatman on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and Threads. And you can find my show, Kyle and Nick on Film, that I co-host with Nick Polachuk from the St. Paul Filmcast. We have new episodes of that show every single week. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure to check out down below in the description of this video for a link to the Minnesota Film Critics Alliance, of which I'm a member. You can find critics' reviews as well as mine there too. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.